good evening, or whatever time you're listening to this. Welcome to, I guess, a very special edition of Slamcast, or at least a very special opening Slamcast. I'm recording this show at 11:46 on September 11th, 2015, on the 14th year anniversary of the defining moment of my generation. I'm not going to go into the where I was, and all that, but I would just like to, take this small platform that I have here to honor those lost in the attacks, those Iraqis that were lost in subsequent invasions, those Afghanis that have subsequently lost their lives in our military action, everybody affected by the events of 9/11. So this is for them. Yeah, it's fitting that now we jump right into the show. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Slamcast. I am Brandon Liggan. Two-man booth this week. Dave Wade is MIA. Michael Burhan is still recovering from his lovely weekend in Paris, or week in Paris. So it's me and Nick Horaceck doing the two-man booth gimmick. What's going on, Nick?
Not much. The smoke is finally gone from Great Falls. Thank God.
Thank God, Montana has finally stopped burning.
Really?
Our long national nightmare is finally over.
Yeah, it's
this is a weird time to do this show because this is a anniversary of a national tragedy, and this is a wrestling podcast. But the WWE did play a big part in the
the healing,
the national healing of this country because they were the first massive public event to take place after the attack 2 days after September 11th. WWE was back in business because Vince McMahon, being the stalwart American hero that he is, wasn't going to let something like September 11th derail his product forever. So what did he do? He put on the show. And he put on probably one of the most memorable one-off wrestling events probably of all time. I know it will be... it's one of those shows that I will always remember, mostly just because it was the first time I saw Vince McMahon wear anything other than a business suit my entire life. Yes, that classic untucked shirt.
Yeah.
But it was one of those rare times when the storyline or whatever was going on at that time took a backseat, and it was really just entertaining.
Putting on a show. Because, we're not going to let some small dick terrorist keep us from living our lives, And they had all the heartfelt, everyone saying doing these candid interviews from Bradshaw to The Rock to Stone Cold to, everybody on the roster had, said something one way or another. And then from that, we got the Tribute to the Troops shows, which they would go over to, Iraq every year. And JBL had a big hand in getting those going. So,
yeah, I mean, look, you could say that the WWE's response to 9/11 and the military efforts in Iraq and Afghanistan has been superb, and it has earned Vince McMahon some level of credibility with the mainstream press and his largest critics, because he's been one of the few people to go over to really go over there, and to go over there regularly. I mean, they went over there every year that there was serious combat operations going on. Yeah, man. So yeah, it was a thing that happened, and we can't just pass it over on this anniversary and not bring it up, because it was a a significant event in both wrestling history and in our country's history. Obviously,
Yeah.
September 11th was a huge event in our country's history. Sorry, that's enough. That's enough on that. Now on to the fluff of the program, so to speak. We got existential stuff out of the way. Let's talk about some wrestling now, because we took a kind of a little bit of an extended break. We had that huge dump of news happen on a Monday, and then it's kind of just been slowly trickling. There has been stuff going on, but
it hasn't warranted.
Hasn't warranted a podcast. I felt there hasn't been anything like jump out of us. So here we are. We're talking about everything that's happened until then. Where do we want to begin? I don't even know.
I guess we could start with the racist. More racist tweets came out from another.
This story, I think, to me is just, it's getting out of hand, because the comments that this girl made. We're all aware of what's the young girl, her kayfabe name. I'm not even.
Jasmine or something like that. I think
Jasmine. There you go.
Yeah.
I knew it was something like, very ethnically sensitive name, I'm sure. Jasmine. Apparently, on her Twitter feed, when she was 15, 16 years old, said some rather, what's the word I'm looking for? Ignorant. That's the best way I'm going to put it.
So, there's a huge difference between a 15, 16-year-old saying some really stupid, ignorant shit, and then
50-something, 60-something-year-old man
who says, like, we're all a little bit racist. It's like those people say, I'm not racist, but they're about to say something racist.
I'm not racist, but saying something really racist after.
That'd be like me saying, insert,
Don't, because I think you're going to dig yourself in a hole.
I was going to say, it's like if I come out and say, I'm not a sexist, but, once you throw that but in there, it's, I refuse to, dig myself.
I don't mean to sound like a queer or nothing, but you got a pretty sweet ass.
Exactly.
Oh,
but you can be a lot more forgiving of a 15, 16-year-old saying some stupid shit. I mean, that's a defense when there was videos that came out of Justin Bieber at 15 saying some horrible shit. And it's like, oh, he was just 15 at the time, and let it go.
This girl was just ignorant.
Yeah.
I honestly hope she doesn't lose her job for this.
I don't think she will.
I think she might, get some punishment as far as her career goes. Like, it might take her a little bit longer to reach a level where she's happy, but
there are consequences for things you say.
Yes, I think this is really just the WWE in a hyper-vigilant, hypersensitive mode, trying to, I guess, get ahead of all these things, or
right, and they're taking I mean, they did issue the statement that, if you're looking to be hired by us, delete anything that might be considered controversial off your social media.
Yeah, because it will come out.
I mean, people on the internet are vicious, and I mean, Zariah, she lost her job, and who just actually issued it was an Instagram post from a couple of days ago where she...
Apology, not apology.
Like, she went into this whole explanation about her family,
that is one of the great apology, not apologies I've ever heard in the history of apology, not apologies, or read, sorry. Because not only does she apologize, but then not apologize for it, she then gets mad at all the...
Well, she was getting mad at people before this got posted.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Someone should take Zariah's social media away from her for a little while.
Yeah, I
mean... Nazi stuff. Just either A, start a new social media account, or B, stay off of, Twitter for 6 months.
But I still felt like that there was more sincerity in that than what Hogan said. When he goes on and says, we used to say that all the time, and like, no, you didn't. Hogan, you're a notorious liar.
Oh man, yeah. I really just this poor girl really can't call it poor woman really just can't seem to get out of her own way. She's really becoming the female Hogan almost.
Oh God. And the only difference
except without the successful career and the legacy.
Yeah. At least she's actually hot though. So there's that. And when you're going on you're commenting, messaging these fans back saying, "Well, I'm riding Seth Rollins' dick." Yeah.
That's the apology. That's the apology, not apology. I was kind of talking. Yeah. That to me was one of the great, I guess, moments of fan backlashes. Like,
yeah.
I mean, really, you want to use those? Those are the words you want to go with?
Like,
I mean,
really?
first of all, a lot of us have seen it already, honey. It's not that impressive.
Yeah, there's not really that much there to ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing, but this is just, yeah, I don't. This is clearly a woman who is not in danger of being inducted to Mensa anytime soon.
Yeah, and it really doesn't have that much of a filter, in all honesty.
No, or even really now much of a future, because this was pretty much it for her. Was she gonna go back to the modeling thing? Like, I don't know, but it just seems to get stranger and stranger. Man.
Yeah, because when this whole Hogan thing originally broke out, it's gonna get weirder before it gets better, do something like that. Yeah, we didn't think it was gonna get this weird, but then again, it's the wacky world of wrestling.
Yeah, it is the wacky world of wrestling, because Hulk Hogan is now doing Q&A shows. Yes,
Yeah,
one night only with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
This is going to be in the UK, right, Nick?
Yes. It's
man,
along the lines of, because Jim Ross did one, and which that is one I would have liked to have been there for, because that would.
My friend Cheyenne went to it. Shout outs to the For Life Wrestling podcast. What's up, Cheyenne?
And there was also one that they had with Shawn Michaels, and which it's cool.
Yeah, I think there was one. I think there was one with actually Shawn and Brett before WrestleMania 29 that I really wanted to go to until I saw the prices for the tickets. $125 a pop.
So
no thanks.
Damn.
No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, look, I spent $50 to go see, a indie show here a few months ago with Bret Hart, and I actually shook his hand as he was leaving the ring. After this little promo, he was talking about how, Stampede and all that, and
all the good times that he's had in Montana. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same generic promo that he cuts everywhere. He just swaps out places and has stories.
Yeah,
placeholder stories, man.
Well, then again, Stampede Wrestling did run through.
That was their territory, yes.
Yeah.
But
and it was funny. I was talking to Gangrel before the show. He really liked just how beautiful the state was, but that's besides the point. But yeah, $125 a ticket. Yeah.
No thanks, man. No thanks.
And Hogan's are right around them. I'd rather go drop.
It's like this is a carnival of weirdness that that follows Hogan no matter where he goes. Like, again, he's entering in a critical point of his post wrestling career. Don't want to alienate your fans. What do? You go on an overpriced Q&A tour.
Yes, and what people are going to ask him. He's going to be, Stan Smith saying, "Wait a minute, Daddy didn't think that one through."
Hogan didn't think that one through.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I want to spend $125 for wrestling, You would honestly be better off donating it to Virgil's GoFundMe.
Yeah, pretty much. Just give it to the fuck money account, man, because at least he's
Really?
gonna do something with it.
Yeah.
Because
And
I mean, I don't know what people are going to go to this Hogan thing expecting to get. Like, I'm sure he'll answer their questions, and I'm sure there are people that will genuinely be answering questions not related to the scandal. But I'm willing to bet at least 55% of the questions will be related to the events of that night on video.
Yep.
Just the way it is, either whether or not it's, you know, the actual tape itself or his reaction to what WWE's treatment has been, punishment of him has been for. We did see the first mentioning of his name this week in the Austin podcast with Edge and Christian, which, if you haven't checked it out on the network, was a quite entertaining hour or so. Clearly, though, I mean, with no offense to Christian, and who has had an impressive career in his own right, and without a doubt, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, went to TNA, reinvented himself as a single star, and then came back to the WWE, and was originally supposed to be the guy to feud with Matt Hardy, or Jeff Hardy, I mean, costing the title, but it got leaked on the internet, and Vince's like, okay, we're changing plans, we're going with Matt, which failed miserably, but yeah.
He's countless of great matches, to a 20-plus year career. In all due respect, I really feel that they really just wanted Edge for that, because you could clearly tell in the way Austin was asking questions mostly geared towards Edge, and then he kind of just had to adjust it. Oh well, what did you think about that?
Yeah. Which is, unfortunate. Christian has always been so good. I mean, some of the first stuff I saw him is when he turned on Edge back in 01, that whole invasion angle.
Right.
And they had that great ladder match that year at No Mercy. There was a lot of assault on the testicular region.
Yeah.
Things like that. Doing things with ladders that would sterilize most men, but
that still to this day give me quite cringeworthy. Anytime they do that crotch spot over the ropes, and just ugh.
Yep.
Ugh. Ugh. There's no cups in wrestling. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
a brutal, just brutal. Anyway, I just really feel like that Christian was an accessory to Edge on that podcast when Edge was clearly the feature.
Yeah, there was no way they were going to do this podcast without having to bring up Hogan, because he was the biggest influence on them.
Yeah, and Edge without hesitation said Hogan. Hogan was out. I mean, they didn't go any further than that, but that's the first reference to him since this whole blacklisting.
Yep. I mean,
and I have a feeling it won't be the last, because they can't entirely whitewash the guy out of.
Oh no, I mean, they can't whitewash him. They can't whitewash Snuka. They can't, they can't whitewash. I mean, they're not going to go through and delete a bunch of footage off the network. That'd be ridiculous. But because I remember when the network they were getting ready to launch it, that was a big question that they were getting asked. Is there going to be Benoit footage? And
yeah, there is, because it happened.
Right. There is no way. Look at how much footage they would have to edit.
Yeah. I mean, look how much footage they already edited. One.
Which one? I remember the one they edited. I think they have like the Raw after the 01 Survivor Series on there when they're doing the Kiss My Ass Club, and there's like a camera edit.
Like, there's a few.
But
actually, speaking of stuff that airs unedited on the network, it was just recently brought to my attention that the full unedited Brian Pillman's Steve Austin segment is on there, including yelling, Brian Pillman yells, "I'm going to fucking unload into you." Yeah,
Oh,
F-bomb and
Pillman's
all.
got a gun.
Oh yeah, Pillman's got a gun.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
I've been watching like old ECW from '94 and '95 on the network, and CyberSlam
Awesome.
'96 when Pillman showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that one, and it's like lights go out, they come back on. Joey Styles, he was cutting the promo. He's in the ring, and there's Brian Pillman. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, it was such a surprise because Pillman was still working for WCW at the time, and he had that whole lawsuit going. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then like right after that, Pillman broke his ankle in that wreck, and then
Yeah, it was like I guess the just burgeoning of the internet. So that was really like the first kind of internet wrestling story, I guess you could kind of say.
yeah, I mean, and this whole CyberSlam was an internet convention thing, and they did a show with it, and like only one time it aired on pay-per-view as I was doing a little research on it, and that was '98.
Wow.
You know, if they want to add more, I'm hoping they need to add a lot more. They're going to add more of those hardcore TVs. I would like them to add those CyberSlams, particularly the one from 2000 when Dreamer and Taz fought for the title, because that whole famous story.
That was yeah. That was what he gave him to the. That's just a random house show, yeah. And then he gave it to Taz, and then that wasn't actually. No, I thought that was actually at a pay-per-view because he drops the belt to Dreamer, and then Dreamer
loses it right to Just Incredible. And Dreamer said that he never wanted to win.
That was on the network. That was on
CyberSlam 2000? I didn't see it.
Sure it was.
I'll have to look, but
maybe
that was another really strange time in wrestling, because you had Awesome, ECW World Champion, show up on WCW Nitro.
Yeah.
And Taz, who was in WWF.
So it was like, yeah.
It goes from,
I think I forget who said it was. Jim Ross said you actually had an under contract WWE wrestler wrestling an under contract WCW wrestler. It was the only time
for
in
an
history.
ECW title. And I mean, Taz, he got to wrestle on Raw and SmackDown with the title, which was cool for him. And then, I mean, Dreamer, he never won titles, but the only reason he never wanted to win it, but the only reason he did it because guys left. Because Paul knew he wasn't going anywhere. So that's why he all of a sudden drops to Just Incredible, which, that's you call it good guy Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, and they did good creative with that. That angle speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. Stands alone today. It's still a good angle between those two.
Speaking of Paul Heyman, happy
birthday.
Speaking
of Paul Heyman, yes, we kind of do segue into this. Paul Heyman celebrating a birthday this week.
Yep.
The big 50.
Damn.
I know. Not a young man anymore. Paul E.
Creative genius.
Creative genius.
God on the mic.
Yes. So we hope many, many more years to Paul and his family. Thanks, man. Just thanks. So speaking of creative geniuses, just setting me up today, bro. WWE has introduced a new initiative on the NXT program for the next couple of weeks. I think it's leading up to the October TakeOver show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, October 7th TakeOver. Yeah, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament.
The Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Yes. The Dusty Rhodes Memorial. I think it's the Memorial Tag Team Classic. They put Memorial in there because he's no longer with us. I was pretty happy to hear this because I like tournaments. I like leagues. I like those sorts of wrestling competitions. It's different. It's something you don't see enough. And I'm glad that WWE is doing this. Now, I'm wondering where this came from. I like to think Dusty Rhodes, being the venerable wrestling Jedi that he is, materialized to Triple H, and he goes, Triple H, you need to listen to me, baby. The G1 Got the biggest ratings it ever had in its entire existence. People talking about it's such a hot property. You need to do it. You need to have a tournament other than the King of the Ring, because we're clearly not doing anything with that. We just let Wade Barrett sit on it. I got an idea for you, Triple H. I'm a wrestling genius. I'm the greatest wrestling genius. I'm even a genius even after I'm dead, coming up with great ideas. Dusty Rhodes American Dream Tag Team Classic, baby. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get all the tag teams together. They're gonna wrestle each other. It's gonna be great. The people are gonna watch. That's enough of my hackneyed Dusty Rhodes impersonation.
Yeah.
I was really just riffing off that one.
Yeah,
don't know where
it's
I'm
funny
going.
because we've got all these. They put Tyler Breeze and Bull Dempsey together against Gargano and Ciampa.
Which I love the fact that these two guys are finally getting their chance on the roster, because they haven't been around for too long in the NXT system, but this is the great time to bring up these two guys. I mean, if you've seen their work in PWG and a little bit of Ciampa's work in ROH, you're going to get two guys that are going to blow people's minds with some of the things that they could do in tag team matches. Also getting to keep their names. Very rare. Very rare. You would think that WWE would have some sort of, borderline racist stereotype name for them, but
I
keeping
believe
the names.
Ciampa was also a former Ring of Honor World Champion.
I believe so too.
I know I recognize that name, and that's why.
I know he was in Ring of Honor. He was in Ring of Honor. He was in PWG, and then he was. I don't remember if he was ROH champion or not. He might have been TV champion.
Let me look it up.
He might as well do that, so I'm not talking out my ass.
Yeah.
But these are two guys that have bright futures with this company, and it really just seems like nowadays the WWE application is, did you work for PWG? Check yes or no. And if you check yes, you're pretty much hired right on the spot, because I don't know, we didn't really talk about it that much on our great big news special that we had in our last show, but what was it? I completely forgot who it was. Biff Busick and Rich Swann just apparently signed contracts with the WWE, and they'll be reporting to the NXT developmental facilities very soon. So if you've seen a Rich Swann match, that's something I like. Rich Swann does some things in the ring, style-wise, and takes a lot of risks, but has a style that I think some fans in the WWE are gonna just flock towards. Same thing with Busick too. Busick, I wouldn't say kamikaze style, but definitely a highly athletic. Both competitors, highly athletic guys. Again, the talent building continues on NXT, man. They're picking the cream of the crop.
Yeah, Ciampa was a former TV champion.
TV champion. I knew he was a former TV champion. I was right. I was right all along.
Yeah, and I was thinking that because I was looking through the history. Funny enough, Jamie Noble was a former Ring of Honor World Champion. That's probably what I got. I recognized the name. I knew he was in Ring of Honor. I just couldn't remember which friggin' title he held, if any. But
I mean, the guy's been around making a name for himself the last few years. Both of these guys. It's really surprising. I mean, I know Kevin Owens was a quick call up to TV after being signed, but these guys seem to be even really quick, because it's less than 3 months after they got signed, I think, right? They were signed earlier this summer.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't even... I didn't realize they were signed. I
Oh no,
thought
I knew they were. I knew they were signed because Ciampa hasn't been on Ring of Honor for like 7 or 8 months, so I figured that's just where he went. Um, yeah, yeah. I think the last time he was on a show might have been one of the anniversary shows. Was he? No, I don't
might have
remember.
been. I don't know.
I
It's
don't. It was so long ago. So long ago.
Yep.
But yeah, two guys that I have high hopes for in this. Dusty Rhodes. No, excuse me. We'll do that over again without a burp. The Dusty Rhodes Memorial Tag Team Classic, baby. Yes, getting everybody over in the tag teams. Uh, I like this because this is taking place at live events, which
as well.
which is great, which is exactly what the G1 does. The G1 basically dominates ROH shows for about a month, and they do nothing but G1 matches, which puts some of the greatest heavyweight talents in the world against each other in a round robin tournament. I hope we see this every year. I want to see this do well and this become a showpiece event.
Yeah, and I mean it adds something to these NXT live events where it's not just a bunch of matches kind of thrown together to put on a show. There's actually some drama. And there's something on the line with some of them.
And it's something for everybody to do because again, beyond whatever Finn Balor is doing and whoever Finn Balor is going to be feuding with for the NXT title, and whoever's going to be feuding against the Vaudevillains or whoever is the NXT champion, tag team champions, there's really not much else for anybody really to do on that roster, and it's just basically you're wrestling one-off matches with an opponent. How many storylines really are active on NXT? You have the Vaudevillains and Blake Murphy Bliss.
Yep.
You have
Bayley Sasha Banks, which we're
Bayley
getting
Sasha
for
Banks.
Iron
Yes.
Man match.
I was just gonna say it was just announced like literally yesterday before we scheduled to record this that we're gonna get an Iron Woman match. 30 minutes or 60 minutes? Are they gonna go 30 or 60?
It said 30.
Okay.
Which, is fine because
That's fine for WWE television. I'll accept that.
Yeah. I mean, there was a great Iron Man, 3-man Iron Man match between Angle and Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
On Raw way back.
Way, way back.
Yeah.
When he was just a sexy Kurt. Who made your ankles hurt.
Oh, God.
That was one of my favorite Kurt Angle.
That was such a great build-up because Kurt, anything you can do, I can do better. He
had Sherry in the ring with him, singing the song.
Oh God, it was
classic Kurt Angle. Classic.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes. I mean, they're finally giving people, not really finally, but giving people what they want, or what they're clamoring of, which is more Bayley Sasha Banks, because I mean those two women stole the weekend at SummerSlam weekend at Takeover Brooklyn.
Yeah. And now you're really giving them. And now you got a different dynamic with this Iron Man match. If they try,
every woman on the roster has been basically paying for how good of a match that they have by everybody in the crowd basically turning on them. So give the people what the people want, man. They want to see these girls wrestle.
And I think there's not many divas on the roster that could pull it off between both of them.
I think there are probably only 4 girls on that roster, 5 maybe, that could work 30 minutes straight with just one other person. I mean, probably if you put all 4 girls in the ring with each other, they could put on a 30-minute match, but there would be times when 2 girls are just sitting out on the outside selling injuries and with, nothing else to do, and just so to plan a match 30 minutes long with your opponent is gonna be a cardio nightmare for some people. But I have nothing but faith that these 2 girls are going to, tear the house down yet again. We're going to be talking about another all-time classic match. And I think if this match is an all-time classic, this will go down as probably one of the greatest female rivalries. Definitely the greatest female rivalry of the 21st century. Yeah, move over, Trish and Lita. I said it.
Ooh, yeah.
Someone's coming for that crown. And when you come at the queen, you best not miss, to paraphrase one of the great lines in television history. And these bitches ain't gonna miss.
Oh, hell no.
The one thing that I am kind of looking forward to about this is we might get a third match out of this. Holy crap.
Well, yeah, where do you go?
Let's get through the sequel before we move on to an eventual rubber match between these two, because just silly.
Well, side thing, did you see that thing on NXT this week where they were highlighting that little girl that's Bayley's '1 fan?
I've seen them do this before with her. Yeah, it's the girl that does the yeah, they played the interview with her before the match in Brooklyn. Yeah.
You gotta wonder if they're setting up angry Miz girl moment for when Bayley eventually drops the title to somebody.
No, because that's like I think as much as she really deserves to be up on the main roster, I really think they're gonna keep Bayley down in NXT for a little while longer.
Yeah.
At least while she has the belt, just to make her exclusive to the NXT thing. Speaking of foreshadowing, by the way, I don't know. We're talking about divas, so it's kind of diva related. It's not really that much of a great segue or leap. I get the feeling that Team PCB might not be long for this world. And I have a little bit of a cockamamie theory behind it.
Okay.
But hear me out. On the Instagram, most recently, I think it was before it was probably taken Tuesday at the Smackdown taping, so it went on the Instagram Thursday when Smackdown aired. Which, by the way, Smackdown, get used to it, update your calendars. Smackdown is going to be moving back to Friday, people. NFL football's back.
Yep.
So let's just be prepared for that. There's a picture of Team PCB. And the lovely mother of canaries is not facing the same way as her teammates. Now, again, this could just be me reading too deep into the tea leaves, but after her losing out on the Beat the Clock challenge, Charlotte becoming the #1 contender, Becky Lynch even gaining a little bit more popularity, maybe they could be sowing potential seeds of jealousy for Paige for an eventual heel turn. I just think the way that this picture is framed, it's too good for it to be done accidentally. It's just the way it's shot, and I know the way WWE controls social media. Really, not a whole lot of stuff on there is accidental or candid. They're taking pictures of that because they want to convey something, or they want to advertise something, basically. So yeah, it's just my thought. I mean, Team PCB, are they going to stick around? I don't think so, but I just really think this whole...
Whose Instagram was this?
This was the WWE's Instagram.
So this was the official WWE Instagram, okay?
The official WWE Instagram, where they usually take pictures of the talent right before they come out, and to hype up the match before it comes on live and stuff like that. It's the three of them along a bank of carts or whatever the cases that they transport gear in the road in, and Becky and Charlotte all facing forward, looking at the camera. Paige turned, eyes, head pointed down, face not pointing at the camera, looking off sort of into the distance. That to me just seems like a little bit of subtle foreshadowing at a potential breakup, a heel turn, which, I mean, it's inevitable. Nothing lasts forever.
Well, yeah.
No faction lasts forever. Even the NWO broke up. The Rockers broke up. It all happens.
Well, NWO broke up after they pummeled it right into the ground, you know.
They literally, yes, they ran it right into the ground. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I just kind of getting a little subtle feeling that this might be coming towards the end.
Yeah, which
speaking of towards the end, sorry, you say your thing.
Well, yeah, which is true because honestly, I would rather see matchups between like Paige and Becky or Paige and Charlotte or Charlotte Becky as opposed to anything involving Nikki.
Sorry, by the way, the Bella countdown clock, still one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting Charlotte versus Nikki on Raw, so
that's not going to be for the title. They're obviously saving the title match for NOC.
I thought I read somewhere that it is for the title. Let me look.
Oh, really? So this is going to be okay. I thought they would save that for Noche de Campeones.
Yeah. You know what? I like this because it at least adds a little drama to. Oh, is Nikki gonna break the record? Is she gonna lose the title an hour before she?
Yeah, because obviously the Bellatron really just does seem like a something that's only going to show up when the record is finally broken. But I don't know. I like it as this little piece of reminder that hey, we're counting down towards a moment of wrestling history.
Yeah.
No matter what you feel of women's wrestling, this is a...
Or, how Greg Valentine...
Yeah, whether you feel like Greg Valentine, that women should not be... have any position in the ring. That's... certainly not a position we agree with here at Slamcast, but we respect Greg Valentine's right to it, no matter how caveman it may be.
Yeah. I mean, at least it, and I'm looking up now to make sure I'm right because before she breaks...
we would hate to be wrong. Because we're such a bastion of journalism here at Slamcast. Bastions, I say.
Yeah, there's a...
Sorry, it's Greg the Hammer Valentine probably said that in between signing cheap autographs at whatever convention would probably have.
Yeah, and Greg Valentine.
Greg the Hammer Valentine, a little bitter over how his career played out. Probably.
Like bitter, like Ole Anderson tweeting after Vern Gagne passed away.
Yeah,
that kind of bitter.
Just a little bitter, about how things turned out. Maybe he wished he saved some money. Maybe.
Yep, it will be. I'm reading the article. Yep, it will be Monday night, so it will be for the title. So,
son of a gun. So we will see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think.
I mean, I still think there's going to be some shenanigans involved, and Nikki's going to escape with the title, which I would expect.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think there will be shenanigans involved, and I think that's going to be the breakup of Team PCB now that we know that this title match is happening this Monday.
Yeah.
And if you look at the picture that I was just talking about, it's obvious for you. You can't say that it's not obvious for Shida, that she's not just checking her shoes out.
Yeah, like it's like, again, I've said this company's very petty before, and I know Nikki's gonna break the record because I get every time they have to mention AJ Lee on TV, Vince McMahon is gritting his teeth backstage like, oh, why? Can I get on a time machine and break this thing already?
I bitch, AJ.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, whatever. Nikki's gonna break the record, and It's something that I guarantee they'll be talking about Thanksgiving dinner when John Laurinaitis marries her mother.
Oh, yes! God, I can't believe we went this long into the show without that little bit of
I've been setting you
human
up for
interest
these all
story.
night, so...
I know, man. I know. It was such a weird story that when it broke, I was kind of like, what? Now, again, if you have not told, you've been living under a rock or you don't read the internet, uh, it's been reported that the Bella's mother is now engaged to Big Johnny herself. She's about to become Mrs. People Power.
Yeah, so think of that image.
Yeah.
Big Johnny, the
I
Bella's
can't even.
mom, the Bellas, and then Cena and Daniel
Oh,
Bryan all at Thanksgiving dinner together.
that's got to be the weirdest non-Hart family Thanksgiving dinner conversation ever.
Well, and then
I
maybe
have to
you
preference
throw
a
in,
non-Hart family.
Big Johnny's brother, Road Warrior Animal, and his son who's playing for the Rams, and then this
Yeah,
is one really, really weird
that's
wrestling. And you thought the Hart family was weird.
no, that's a they got a weird brood going on over
Yeah.
there, man. I just, I, I didn't believe it was real at first. Like I thought it was a kayfabe news article when you're first reading it. Like, and then you see the actual picture of the six of them at a table at some restaurant having a lovely time together.
Yeah, like, okay, this is...
What?
With all the
What?
news that has gone on in the last 2 weeks, this is the tamest. And
Yeah,
this
really.
is the most genuine... This is really a feel-good story. As weird as it sounds...
It's a weird feel-good story, but yeah, I feel kind of good for it because, like, you're happy for Mrs. Lauren, the future Mrs. Laurinaitis,
Yep.
the former Mrs. Garcia, but left fucking field, man. Left fucking field.
Total left field, but hey, I'm not gonna be the one to shit on somebody getting engaged. I mean, I'm going to a wedding tomorrow that I got a couple friends that are getting hitched, so yep.
Just not expected.
Yeah, well, I had no idea that there was any separation involving the Bella twins' father and mother, or that he was single, or it was like... I mean, the last time Laurinaitis was on TV was the 15th anniversary of Smackdown, when we had the ultimate tag team Teddy Long wet dream.
Oh, sorry, my John Laurinaitis sounds an awful lot like the principal from Beavis and Butthead.
Mick Vicker, yep.
Oh, god damn it. Anyway, yeah, man, that's gonna be one hell of a wedding. So we wish Big Johnny the best of luck. God, it's so weird. Anyway, speaking of weird stories, and I'm never one to advocate an injury. In fact, I would like to wish her nothing but the speediest of recoveries, because this is a big momentum dealer. But Lana's injury could not have come at a better time. It's almost like the WWE had the wherewithal to realize that this angle has lost its direction, has lost any momentum that
It's
it
devolved
had.
into another ridiculous TV soap opera because that's all they have for writers.
Yeah. If you have not heard the news today, Lana went into surgery yesterday for an injury she sustained over the weekend. I think it was to her wrist. Yeah, her wrist. I don't know exactly how she hurt it. Probably on a fall, probably trying to train. She made this huge, long Instagram post that how it's going to make her better, yada, yada, yada. We wish her the best. That being said, I am so fucking glad that this injury will mean the end of this gimmick being, or this angle being off of TV, because it was getting hard to watch. It was really getting hard to watch. You really kind of lost me on this program, because you're calling this the reality era of your programming, yet they continually fly in the face of what the fans know to be reality. Like, there's the reality of what's reality, like reality, and then there's the reality that the WWE kind of wants you to believe, like their own warped reality where Lana and Rusev aren't together in real life. Like, oh, really? Rusev is actually seeing Summer Rae. Look, they took pictures together on the internet of them walking on the beach. That relationship's totally legit.
Yeah, I mean, fine. Try and, keep kayfabe as much as possible, but it's not going to happen. It's just one of those things,
Yeah.
like, really? Like, oh, look, Ziggler and Lana are at Disneyland. They must be No, like...
No, come on now.
Because we don't need any more of these stupid Jerry Springer-esque fucking storylines that are completely played out, tired, and I don't want to see them anymore.
What's the word? What's the sentence I'm looking for? It really, it's like talking down to us. Like, oh, we're such primitive beings that will follow this storyline because it triggers some sort of base, instinct, higher need to identify with somebody in a relationship, whatever psychological psychoanalysis you want to fucking put on it for you identifying with this thing, but that's what they're going for. And I'm just so sick and tired of seeing the love triangle. Like, okay, if there was an actual love rhombus that's really going on, because it's not a love triangle, it's a love rhombus, a love parallelogram, if you will. If there was an actual real world romance on it, I would love to see that get played out in the ring, on screen, in a dramatic way, with a writer. They did that with Edge and Matt Hardy, and it was great. It was one of the best angles that they had.
Yeah, because that was there was reality involved.
It was a twinge of real life to it, and that's what made it good. There's real. They're trying to force the real life in it by having them pose for these pictures on social media like they're actually a couple. Both Summer Rae and Rusev and Lana and Ziggler. They're trying to force it so hard, it's not working.
Yeah.
Just not working. And it has, dare I say, I mean, it doesn't appear to be deterred her that much, but it's, I think, affected what could have been her overall progress in the company. I mean, obviously the injury is going to set her back some 4 months or so, but I think that, just because of the fact that she has been the weakest part of this whole program, they might have second thoughts on moving Lana up to being an in-ring competitor. I don't know. I don't have any basis or any actual, hard facts of doing it, but I could see where they might be hesitant on, actually putting her in the ring with somebody, because what if she can't? Then you've invested all this time and money and TV time.
Yeah, it's always a gamble when you're, like, literally someone who had no experience in wrestling before. She was a model and all that, and then gets thrust into this role as this Russian, bombshell. Let's not kid around here. And then managing this big, hulking Bulgarian brute, and it just worked. I mean, it's like all the time.
And now they've gone completely in the opposite direction of that. I don't even care about this, gimmick anymore. What really started losing it for me is when she ditched the business suit. Like, when she ditched the business suit and started wearing denim, I'm just like, oh god, it's becoming one of those angles again.
Yeah. So
like I said, and I don't wish her ill will. Like it's I don't want to see anybody get hurt in this business.
Right.
But whew, sigh of relief.
That they can hopefully just drop this angle like it never happened, like they did the Bellas feuding.
I mean, I don't think they'll just drop it like it never happened, but it's gonna go away for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I could deal with Rusev and Summer Rae propagating their fake relationship on TV for 4 months, but just as long as they come back and ready to do something with these 4 guys, or that this just leads to Rusev pummeling Dolph Ziggler for 3 months because he doesn't have anybody in his corner. That would be a good way
to do it.
But who knows?
Whatever. And it's soap opera WWE creative. I mean, they had that whole
it's soap opera WWE bullshit, and I hope they're really done with it.
This. I hope they're done with this whole Eva Marie experiment, but that's besides the point.
Hey, it can't get any worse than her for getting the kick out at 2, man.
Oh my god! Like, the opposite of Cena.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh god, I saw that.
Did we talk about this on the last show? Because I don't think we
did, because that didn't air yet.
Yeah, it was one of those things that had, was rumored. But I didn't see it. I, again, only heard about it.
That they're... building Eva Marie to win the...
Oh, no. I mean, I knew that they were building Eva Marie. You could not... Like, if you pay attention to WWE's social media, they can, they obviously have a vested interest in the future of Eva Marie.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are Eva Marie WWE Divas Champion dolls stuffed away somewhere in a Mattel factory all ready to go.
Oh
yeah. Oh,
I don't know.
There's absolutely a Photoshop mock-up of a magazine cover with her as absolutely, as the Divas Champion, face of the company, female face of the company. Oh yeah. If she does, like I said, as long as she doesn't do anything too bad to fuck it up. Like, not kick
it's
out
gonna
at
happen. 2. It's
like not kick out at 2.
God, I saw that, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Remember we had said all those positive things about Brian Kendrick training her, and how this could be somebody that's gonna
the match she was having at that point was
really good. Apparently,
she was doing good. It wasn't. She's still kind of awkward, kind of not sure of herself in there, but. Okay, it's not too bad.
Still has the vacant stare.
Yeah, the anti-Cena. And when they turned the camera, I'm like, oh god, she fucked that up so hard. She botched that so bad. And then the crowd turned right on her.
Oh man, yeah, no. Like after that, and I hate this. Like, this girl has tried. Like, I really do think that this girl is trying, wants to do well. Wants to succeed in this endeavor, really, truly, but just not making it easier for herself. And after this, wrestling fans being who they are, they're not going to forget this. They are not going to forget this. And, man, if she ever does make it up to a WrestleMania crowd, or a night after WrestleMania crowd.
Oh god.
Oh, those 2s are gonna be loud. She'll know not to kick out, or she'll know to kick out. That too, because they will be going, kick out, or just something. God, yeah, just
they're gonna. Oh god, and those Raw after Mania crowds, they are brutal. I mean, and they're there to have fun. They travel, from all over the world to be there at WrestleMania, and they get a lot of chanting for JBL, and they cheer like crazy when Brock Lesnar is about to murder Michael Cole.
Well, who wouldn't though?
Exactly.
I mean, he's our Lord and Savior.
Well, that
if he wants to murder somebody, he could damn well do it.
Yeah, and then again, everybody hates Michael Cole, so it's like I would love to have been in the fly in the wall in the room when that happened. Like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Brock
Michael,
Lesnar
you're gonna take an F5. You need to go on vacation. It's like, or no, it's Michael Cole probably going up to Vince. He's like, Mr. McMahon, sir, I need some time off. My wife is whatever. Well, Michael, have you ever taken an F5 before?
Oh my god! And give Cole credit for actually taking that because
Hey man, I don't know. I took a double suplex once in a ring, and that was the end of my wrestling career. That was it. I'd waited my entire life for that moment, and I did it once, and I was like, nope, this is not for me.
yeah,
There's got to be something else I could do, or I could contribute, because this going up and over, leaving my feet bullshit, not for me.
yeah. I
Nope.
know it's not for me either. So it's
Nope.
but
Again,
yeah,
literally waited my entire life, 20
well,
something years to
yeah.
try and do that, and nah, man,
And then
wasn't
you
having
realize,
that
okay,
shit.
this isn't for me. Which,
Yeah, I'm not cut out for that. I'm not built for that life.
yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, the meeting that was going on, I would hope someone would have had enough sense to But wouldn't that turn Lesnar face? This is the Raw Mania
I mean, I
crowd,
think at
and
this
that's
point in
Michael
time,
Cole.
Brock Lesnar. I've said this before. Brock Lesnar goes beyond the
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 heel
traditional
face.
designations of heel and face. Our Lord and Savior does not cater to
Yep.
your traditional notions of
I mean, he
alignment.
passes out to the Hell's Gate, and he's giving the Undertaker the finger, and no one questions it because he's Brock Lesnar. I mean,
because he's fucking God. That's why.
yeah, it's one of those things that.
What were we talking about other than the Brock Lesnar suck fest stream?
I don't know.
I don't remember anymore.
Okay. I'm looking at the recording now, and I'm looking at the image for this episode, and
this is the
Bubba
Eva
Ray.
Marie non-kick out.
No, it's the backstage segment with the New Day, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys. I was gonna bring up the
When they're
Dudleys
playing the
thing.
kazoos.
Yeah, they're playing the kazoos, and
yeah, look,
Xavier Woods playing the Final Fantasy victory theme on the trombone.
Which again, I mean, if you would have told me weeks ago that the New Day would be the most entertaining, consistently, the most entertaining thing on WWE programming for a few weeks, I would have said you're high as shit, man.
Yeah,
I
mean, there's a video on, I think Sasha Banks posted it on Instagram.
The
Tamina,
one with the segues,
yeah, not the seg. It's Tamina. They're on like it was like a, what would you call it? The crate move, whatever the hell you would call it.
Yeah.
Biggie's standing there, and that Chameleonaire is playing, and it's just like Biggie is entertaining as fuck.
These guys are having fun.
Yeah,
these guys are having fun, and that's all that matters. Like,
they've literally taken this gimmick and just ran with it, and it's great.
Yeah, and just they're letting their personality out, because these guys are goofballs. These guys are nerdy goofballs. Like, that's been one of the things that a lot of talents from previous generations have said, that these guys are all nerds.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real hard men anymore that go out and drink beer and smoke cigars and eat steaks and bang hookers all night. That these guys are in their private buses, in their hotel rooms with their PlayStations and Xboxes, sitting around playing video games all night.
Yeah.
Not going out and getting loaded at bars, So
I get the feeling that these guys do it sometimes, but it's not like how it was in the old days.
Exactly. It's not like how it was in the territory days, when you got guys who go to the bars after the shows and
go sit around and drink beer and...
Exactly. But no, the New Day, I mean, just ever since I can't.
They turned him heel, because this is a face group originally, and you were saying that you weren't a fan of them.
I wasn't even a fan when they turned him heel. Like, I just didn't know what they were doing with it. Like, I didn't get it. But once they embrace this whole goofy side, I'm a comedian at heart. I'm all for it, man. Like, if you make me laugh, like, that's it. I don't give a shit what it is. Like, I laugh for Bo Dallas's goofy jokes. I like stupid jokes. What can I say?
Oh yeah.
these idiots dancing around like a bunch of dorks. That works, man.
It does. I mean, they're going to be working with the Dudley Boys, which is great. I don't know about, unless you ask Rene Dupree and Rico, but
Yeah, I mean, there was an interesting story that hit the interwebs after Monday. Was it before Monday? I don't remember when exactly it hit.
it hit
but
this week. Yeah, Rene Dupree was
made me
being asked about Bubba Ray Dudley, and
which actually was a news story because Rene Dupree still in fact alive. Who would have thunk it? Who knew?
I know. Yeah, he's
Not me.
still around. I don't
I
know what he's doing. I really don't care. But he's talking.
Could have fooled me,
he
man.
said, D-Bon was cool, but Bubba, yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people didn't have a lot of kind things to say about Bubba Ray Dudley, calling him dangerous in the ring. You may have forgot this person, but he also is still alive. Rico Constantino blames several of his concussions on
He also
Bubba Ray.
told a story about how he tore his hamstring and Bubba just kept going after his leg and shit. And
yeah, it wasn't really, the most flattering things or the
right.
best endorsement of his professionalism.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, this was also, 10 plus years ago.
Yeah, mid-2000s,
so,
different era. But and then you also got to think, who is it coming from? These are coming from two guys that aren't really a part of the business anymore, or aren't really part of a company anymore.
Yeah, I think Rico's working as a cop in Vegas.
Exactly.
So he's doing things. So good for him. I don't know what Renee's doing,
whatever.
But whatever you're doing, good for you. But
like you said, like he doesn't have something to gain from going to a reporter
and saying shit about Bubba Ray Dudley. And
exactly.
You know what? Here's the thing. First of all, it's wrestling. So, and then the old story that Renee was telling about him getting punched by Bubba backstage, and then that's when how they got fired, or whatever. But and remember, that was 10 years ago. Rico, he was the former American Gladiators contestant back when, not the Hogan, the original one with Mike Adams, who I have met before, and he's a really nice guy, so I will say that.
Did he get your name right?
He did. Thank God.
He didn't call you Mike.
No.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, well, better get called Jeff Harvey, but...
Jeff Harvey.
Oh, he tried so hard. But anyway, this isn't talking about my stories meeting celebrities, but yeah, that was 10 years ago, and now it's 2015. I'm sure Bubba, he's calmed down a lot. He's
also learned a lot more, too.
Yeah. He spent his time
learning in this business.
Witness protection since 2005, but...
Yeah. To the land of misfit toys, I call it.
Well, that's what Heyman called ECW. TNA is just, what the fuck? Destination...
Bizarro world.
Yeah. When you're fighting over a veteran's prosthetic leg... What the fuck?
Which, by the way, Eric Young has had for a couple weeks now, and it's actually more prestigious now than the King of the Mountain title.
Oh, man.
By wrestling bylaws, the fact that he's had it and had it for this long, yes, it's now more valuable than one of your titles, TNA. Good job.
God. Oh, man. So, it's wrestling. You guys are going to get hurt. And then it's not like it's, John Cena coming out and saying Bubba was dangerous in the ring. It's a French guy
Rene Dupree,
and the stylist.
It's also Ram. Like, it's not even anybody that I would give credibility to in the wrestling business. It's not like somebody like Jerry Lynn, or if that's just naming random people that if it came from
Jerry Lynn or a Low Key or
exactly.
RVD and Randy Orton. Keep going on and on, but it's what was Rene Dupree? I think
from Rene Dupree. No offense to Rene Dupree.
Best.
Yeah, exactly. No offense
Rico,
to Rene Dupree.
Low car, curtain jerker at best.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Relax, the only time Rico was ever really in the spotlight was when he was with Billy and Chuck. And then we had the whole, wedding thing on Raw or Smackdown, and Eric Bischoff was in the fucking I guess he was telling the story. I think it was on Austin's podcast how he was fucking with one of his friends backstage, and he had no idea it was Eric. So, and I guess they're releasing a DVD Blu-ray.
Yes.
The Monday Night Raw, like the last 10
It's
episodes.
basically the Monday night, or it's basically they reshot all of the Bischoff stuff from the Monday Night Wars, and it's basically the Eric Bischoff commentary track on all of the stuff. He addresses several claims that other people made in the series, and gives his own updated point of view.
Yeah, and
it's
interesting. My opinion of Eric Bischoff, after listening to him on Austin's podcast, he's definitely a very likable guy.
Yeah, not at all the villain that
he was made out to be. I've always said that he was a fantastic heel general manager.
I mean, he was a fantastic producer in wrestling because he brought the fight to WWE in the way that nobody else.
Yeah, I mean, he went to Ted Turner and said, he gave the pros like, give Eric 2 hours on Monday night.
Yeah, again, without him doing what he did, Vince McMahon would have never
upped his game.
Exactly.
And who knows? WF might have gone out of business before 2000, but
yeah, we don't know.
The Monday Night Wars, and in part they upped the pay-per-view prices. It really saved them.
Yeah, it's Bischoff's impact on the business will resonate, for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
he will always go down, I think, as one of the people that doesn't get a fair shake for what he actually did.
Yeah,
they'll always remember. Oh, he was in charge of WCW. He ran WCW into the ground, but he also elevated it to the point where it had never been before.
Right. He forced Vince to up his game, and
yeah.
I look back now because that was right when I started watching wrestling when he came on to Raw, and that was still just shocking that here's Eric Bischoff hugging Vince McMahon on Raw with a job.
Yeah,
Bischoff was he was such a magnificent bastard. Like he was such a character, and anything he did, he went full on into it. I mean, remember the Taboo Tuesday when he got his head shaved? I love.
Oh yeah, no, he was a willing participant in any of things WWE.
Yeah, I mean,
came up for him.
He got dumped in a garbage truck and
wheeled. A model employee.
Yeah, with Joey Styles on commentary of all people.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that it's not going to be available on the network initially.
Yeah, I think I'll pick up the Blu-ray just because I think hearing, here we are 14 plus years after the Monday Night Wars ended.
And people are still wanting to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, they're really milking it. First of all, it's WWE milking this thing for all it's worth. But I think...
But there's still probably stories out there that, we don't know about that I think deserve to be told.
Yeah, and I mean, Bischoff, I think he's under like he might be under some kind of contract with WWE. He's not, we're not going to see him on TV anytime soon.
Oh no, he has no. I think he's moved out of the wrestling business entirely. He's even in a whole new
field. Yeah,
line of work.
He's got his own beer that actually gets as I recall is brewed up in Billings, Montana.
Oh.
So yeah,
Bischoff brew.
It's was like Buffalo Bill Cody, or it's some name like that. It's like
the serial killer.
I don't know. I don't remember the exact name. I gotta look it up. But
Buffalo Bill Cody was. I'm pretty sure Buffalo Bill Cody was the name of. Wasn't it? Wasn't that the guy from Silence of the Lambs? I don't know. Maybe I'm. Anyway. Yeah, I would like to see this on the network sometime, maybe. Speaking of DVD releases, it's finally happening. Happening. Yes.
I guess Brett wasn't too happy with it, but...
well, he gave it a 4 out of 10, apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
this
guess.
has been a long time coming. An Owen Hart career retrospective DVD set is finally on its way out because we saw the mock-up of the box art, Heart of Gold, which I couldn't think of a better title
Oh my god,
to.
yeah, I guarantee you ask anybody that knew Owen, I would love to hear more Owen stories about him because he was such a prankster.
Yeah, Owen Hart Ribby stories. I think that's the one thing. If there's not a section on that on there, I will
Oh
be probably
god.
the most disappointed.
I think one of my favorite ones, I think Austin told it how it was like a live event. Owen would keep reaching into his tights and pulling something out and socking him with it, and the ref finally gets wise to it, and it's like a Kleenex or some.
I like it's the Jim Powers story when they were at they're in some hotel room somewhere, uh, and they were harassing Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Or no, it was Hacksaw. Yeah, they were doing something to Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then Duggan calls the front desk or something like that, and then like they were saying, "Oh, da, 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 tell him Jim Powers sent you." I don't know. I fucked up the story, but yeah, like Jim, they were they were calling up like Duggan called up the hotel customer service, and then Owen takes the phone and tells him all this other stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's Jim Powers. I may have fucked up the story, but it was really good. Or the best was, I think, yeah, this is probably the best because he pulled it on his father. Uh, they were at something for WrestleMania, and Owen calls the room where Brett and his dad are in, and he's doing an impersonation of one of Stu's old wrestling friends, stuff like that, and going on about Stu screwed this guy out of money, da 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 da. He's coming for him, da 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 da. Hits up the phone. Stu Hart goes, "That son of a bitch Owen got me, didn't he?"
Oh, Stu! My God,
Yeah.
Owen would. Oh
Yeah,
my
the
God,
ribbing his own father is pretty
classic.
legendary.
I mean, Owen, he was such a great talent. Because
Yeah.
you remember him I remember seeing like pictures of him with the WWF title, but I think that was like promo shots because they were thinking about actually putting the title on Owen and they didn't. And
I don't know if I've said it before on this show, but I might have said it before on other shows. Not giving him the WWF title in a schmaz or whatever in '94 against Brett was probably one of the worst decisions they made. I know that they were, really trying to establish Brett as the ultimate good guy of the company and
mm-hmm.
the face of the company, but just that decision, that angle for me at 10 years old in 1994, watching that, I would have lost my mind because I was actually kind of starting to root for Owen Hart because you couldn't help but marvel at his in-ring ability
Mm-hmm.
and just everything that the guy did was spectacular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just
And
think
he
not
was.
not that decision at that point in time to give him the title in that cage match uh, against his brother was just probably one of the, I wouldn't say worst mistakes that they ever made because it all worked out fine in the end, but just, man, you guys missed an opportunity to really do something good with that gimmick. But yeah. So whenever Heart of Gold comes out, I think I will definitely plop down my hard-earned $30 or however much it costs for that because I think that's going to be something that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be worth the watch for all
Oh
wrestling
yeah.
fans.
Especially because they've been fans have wanted it for so long. Because Owen.
Yeah, and all the wrangling that had to take place to get it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So
totally
yeah,
totally worth it.
Martha. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, those
hey,
crazy hearts.
I
But
hope I hope it does some justice to the family, and I hope the family is pleased by it. But I think it had to happen. Wrestling fans have pretty much been clamoring for this for close to 15 years now. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, WWE, they've never really. Well, the thing with Owen, I mean, they did that great Raw is Owen show.
They did the great tribute show, and then it was after he died. It was the immediate legal wrangling over, you know, culpability in his death, all that other kind of stuff. It was just crazy, and it appears that, after a decade or so, that's finally over and past us. Yeah. WWE could finally pay tribute to one of their greatest talents of all time, in my opinion. Just saying. All right, you want to do a Iron Sheik tweet of the week, or you want to talk about some MMA for a little bit, because there has been some MMA stories.
Yeah, let's do MMA for a bit, then we'll do Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
All right, well, if there was a pay-per-view this weekend, I unfortunately didn't get to see it because I'm a cheap bastard and I wasn't about to plop down my $60 for it.
Yeah, same here.
Couldn't get my stream to work on it, but there was really two bits of information from the weekend that we really want to talk about. Number one is somebody who I've been talking about for several weeks on the show, or several MMA segments on the show, is becoming a rising star in this sport, and I think this weekend she proved it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is 21-year-old Paige VanZant. Paige VanZant is gonna be the strawweight champion of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Fact, no doubt about it, in my mind. She is too good not to win that title at some point in time in her career. Her, I guess, mission, you could call it, is to become the youngest UFC champion since John Jones. She has 2 years to do so in a division that only has 10 fighters.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say homegirls, without any major setbacks, with like a loss, she could very easily. Yeah, loss or injury, that is a very accomplishable goal, because the way you saw her completely dominate an opponent over 3 rounds, and then she is just a more complete MMA fighter than Ronda Rousey. There, I'll say it right now. She's a more complete MMA fighter than Ronda Rousey. Different weight class, they're different strengths and different, but she's more well-rounded, where Ronda's strengths are clearly more towards the ground game and judo, where her boxing is slowly coming around. Paige VanZant, I think, has the full package. So, write that name down now if you haven't already. You'd sound really cool on all your friends in 2 years when this girl takes over the world of MMA.
Yep.
And is an absolute star.
Yeah.
That being said, there was another event that took place last weekend at UFC cards there in Vegas, which I actually do have a third point that I'll talk about it, but this, to me, was the real story of this evening, because there was an epic, and I mean epic, fight press conference for the December shows, for their upcoming shows, and it was the never-ending good times that is the Conor McGregor show.
Yes.
Now, if you missed the interview that I'm talking about, it's literally, I mean, Conor McGregor could sell ice to Eskimos, I think, at this point. I mean, he sold, you know what he did in that press conference? He sold me 3 fights. I want to see him fight Dos Anjos now. I want him to see him fight Chad Mendes again. And I want to see him step up and take on Cowboy Cerrone now. And this guy sold 4 fights. 4 fights, because Aldo was also there. This guy sold 4 potential fights in one press conference.
Is this guy taking lessons from Chael? I mean, my God.
He is better than Chael, because he has become. It's anytime Conor McGregor is on anything, it becomes the Conor McGregor show, and he absolutely just made that press conference his. I love love the shots that he took at Chad Mendes after Chad Mendes saying he would bet him whether or not he would win again after he fought him on 3 weeks' notice. Conor had a nice little jab saying, making bets with that $500,000 I gave you already? You went from 46,000 to $500,000. Thank you very much. He forever coined the phrase "Red Panty Night." I think that's what we should call the podcast now. Red Panty Night. There you go. We found a title for it.
Bam.
Red Panty Night. Yes. I mean, look, this guy is the best thing going in MMA right now. For my money. Now, I could be wrong. Who knows? But until this guy loses a fight, the hype train is going to keep on rolling, and get on board now or get run over for it. Buy it. Because I don't believe the guy can be stopped, man. I honestly don't. And he said he's going to step up to 155 after he gets done clearing out the 144 division after he beats Aldo. I'm not going to put it past him at this point. One final thing about the UFC. This is kind of really not a positive story, but alarming story at best. The UFC had their lowest fight draw their lowest attendance of any Vegas fight card. That's troubling because Las Vegas is the mecca for combat sports, and Las Vegas is the unofficial home of the UFC. Usually, UFC fights are destination events, but this last fight this weekend didn't appear to be so. I'm gonna say it's because of the card itself. No offense to Dodson and Mighty Mouse Johnson, but not necessarily the biggest draws. I think if anything improved, the featherweight division.
You mean flyweight?
Sorry, flyweight. Sorry, thank you. I knew it was one of the F ones. The flyweight division doesn't have as much drawing power as the UFC had hoped, and they're going to need to, I think, stack those cards better to get an overall draw. Because, while I was excited to see Johnson-Dodson too, it wasn't a destination event for me.
Right.
Conor McGregor fights on a pay-per-view. That is a destination event. My ass is parked on that couch. I dare see you so far as say I plopped down my $70 to order it on pay-per-view. Ronda Rousey, same thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm thinking of blanking on somebody else right now. Cain Velasquez, done, probably. Blah, blah, blah. John Jones, when he inevitably comes back, probably, if he comes back.
Yeah.
But the UFC has got to really think of how they book their events, because Johnson-Dodson as a fight carrier or a card carrier or a pay-per-view seller wasn't enough. Both for, I don't know what the pay-per-view did as far as a buy rate, comparatively speaking, but this was one of the lowest attended UFC live events in recent memory since they've been doing Vegas fight cards. So, just a little word to the wise. Might want to not feature the flyweights to sell a pay-per-view in Vegas. Maybe hold those fights in guys' hometowns.
Yeah.
Where they can get plenty of local guys to come out.
Yeah, or you can get, a pretty stack card. You put a flyweight title match up with a double main event with something like a McGregor fight.
Yeah. Oh no, that becomes a more interesting fight, and it's a more interesting card too, and which is going to lead to a higher buy rate and higher ticket sales. But I just don't think and Dodson Johnson was a rematch of a pretty goddamn good fight.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't have the same draw as it did. I think even the original fight wasn't a main fight on that card.
Right.
So, Iron Cheek tweet of the week.
Yep. You got one?
Jump right back into it.
All right, I'll get let's
Cue
get
up
Iron
that
Cheek
music
tweet.
there.
Yep, queuing it up.
Fuck him! I talked him! I wanna know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No good motherfucker! Fucking bullshit! Bullshit, Hulk Hogan!
All right. Well, it's, as always, my favorite time of the week on the show. For more nuggets of wisdom from the greatest living Iranian American, the legend, the Iron Sheik. And, it's another odd week as far as the Iron Sheik Twitter. I really think there's maybe something wrong with the Iron Sheik because he's not coming out with the same level of vitriol and hatred and overall hilariousness that he used to come out. But there was this little nugget of truth or a little nugget of comedic genius out there that happened last night before the official kickoff of the Patriots and Steelers there to start off the NFL season. And the greatest living Iranian says this: baseball season, go fuck yourself. Hashtag NFL tonight. Follow Vegas legend Vinny the Gambler and Incarcerated Bob. They break the bookie back. I don't know. I thought of that. Shout out to them, but that's not as funny as I thought it was in my head. All right, let's do another one because that one sucked. I really thought it was sounding funny in my head, but
Jesus!
It wasn't. That's funny. Yeah, it wasn't. That was a fail. That was definitely a Zandig fail. Oh yeah, no, I thought that was another one. Fuck the Wednesday till mid Saturday, and that. Ladies and
Fucking bullshit!
gentlemen, is your Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Fucking bullshit!
Anyway, whatever. There we go. So there we go. That's the Slamcast for this week. Before we go, though, Nick, you want to do some plugs?
Yeah, I'm over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187, Instagram, Xbox Live, Wii U, Supercard, same thing. I'm on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Facebook, Nick Horaceck. I'm in the Wrestling Revolution /MMA Facebook group. Go check out Dave on Lawn Boys Post 1975. All the retro
doing his posts for him, or doing his plugs for him. Good man.
Yeah, he's not here, so
good man.
So plugging it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on I Got Gameplay. I'm gonna be at a wedding, getting hammered off my ass.
Get hammered, just like me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So before I do the normal farewells and stuff like that, there was some birthdays this week, and I'll be duly remiss if I don't wish these particular two individuals a happy birthday. They listen to the show sometimes, I think. The first is my good friend, the sexy voiced Mr. Clint Davis, who turned the big 3-4 this week, I think. Yeah, the big 3-4. So, birthday shout-outs to powerful Clint Davis. Happy birthday, brother. Also, somebody who's very close to my heart had a birthday this week. I'm going to be sharing this with him later on. Somebody who I've traveled up and down these roads with. Someone who exemplifies the term good brother. My good brother, Mr. Chris Caden, who's on the shelf with a knee injury, but hopefully working really hard to come back. So, good brother Caden, I know I didn't wish you one personally, but hey, I'm wishing you happy birthday on the internet, on a podcast. So that's better, right? Totally. So happy birthday, good brother Caden. So, if you listen to this podcast, obviously you like wrestling. Obviously, why would you listen to an hour and a half long podcast if you didn't? What kind of you, some sort of sadist? So if you support wrestling and you like it and you live in America or any place where there's civilization, I guarantee you, no matter where you live, you could live in Burkina Faso. Guarantee you, there are people in Burkina Faso that like wrestling just like you, that are trained professionals in the arts of professional wrestling, and are trying to live their dream in your local municipality near you. If you have a family, if you're a single man, if you just want a good night out in the town, take your buddies out, take your lady friend, take whoever you want, take your mom, your dad, whoever you want. It's a good time to be had by all at your local professional wrestling show. You get to see, stars from the past. You'll get to see stars of the future, maybe. You get to see some stars of the present. It's happened before. But support independent wrestling. It's the grassroots of the movement. We can't have the greatness that takes place in the WWE without the little guys working their way up to the top. You might see the next Kevin Owens. You might see the next Tommaso Ciampa. You might see the next Finn Balor. They're all, right now, guaranteed on the professional wrestling circuit, on the independents right now. Support independent wrestling. It's where the dreams take place. Also, you're one of the thousands of good brothers and sisters out there who listen to this podcast, and I know I've fucking inflated that number. Take care of yourselves and each other. If you live the party life like me and Nick are going to be doing this weekend, don't go full flare, okay? Never go full flare. Look, Ric Flair is not somebody you want to live your drinking pattern, your drinking habits off of. It will not end up well for you. I've gone full flare sometimes in my life. I woke up in fields. It's not good.
Oh, so, man.
Be responsible. Don't drink and drive. Be safe. Take care of each other. Don't do anything too stupid and reckless. So, with that said, for our erstwhile colleague still surviving out there on the streets, much respect and props to him, Mr. Michael Burhan. For the absent Dave Wade, glory, glory, Man United. He's going to hate that part. For Nick Horaceck, I'm Brandon Liggan, saying go forth and spread beauty and light. Peace, love, and humpiness to all. Let's go play my damn theme song and let's go home.
Trying to actually back down on my fucking iTunes.